Oh, okay. Okay, so we have our final next week, right? A week from tomorrow, right? So as it is, it's scheduled in this room, but I'm going to try to find a bigger room because I think it's a little nicer. So I'll let you know. Yeah. Is it on Tuesday? I thought it was on Wednesday. No. Okay, that's right. Shall we make sure? Let me see. Yeah, December 12th, Wednesday, 11:30, 2:30. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, so I more or less updated the website for everything is now, there's not going to be a big changes until, I mean, basically everything is up there. So you should be totally ready to prepare for the finals. So everything is up there. There's homework 9 assigned today, but it's not handed in. So there's homework 9 and the answers. All the answers to the homework are up there. The midterm answers are up there. Many years of past finals are up there. Answers to those finals are up there. So basically it's all set. Okay, I think there might be a few changes, but the website is, I think, frozen. Yeah? Oh, yeah. So homework 8 is due in section this week. Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to, the answers are up there in case you need them. Okay. Any questions about the website or anything? Or any other resources? So again, I would encourage you to just look at the old finals. Just try doing some, give yourself 3 hours and simulate it. It's roughly half of the first half of the material and half of this new material. Okay. Any questions about that? The final? Okay. So today, any questions about what's going to happen? Again, I'll let you know. We're going to try to find a bigger room for the final. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'll just try to finish up what we did last time, and then we'll take questions. Did anybody bring questions about anything you want to talk about today? No? We can do those questions next time, too. So, or Thursday we can also do like a review, like a practice. Do you want to do that? Just like we did for the midterm. Does that make sense? So on Thursday, I guess I can bring like an old final, but we'll concentrate on the second half, right? The non-dash, the second half of the course. Does that make sense? Would you rather do that, or would you rather do an answer session? The practice or the practice? Okay, we'll do that then. I'll bring it. All right. We can answer questions later too. So what we ended up doing last time was talk about matching. Remember we said stable matching? Remember, so this is assuming that it's two-sided matching. We assume heterosexualness, males on one side, females on one side. And remember what the definition of stable matching is? Huh? Yeah. So that's the algorithm, right? But just from the very beginning, we didn't have what's the definition of a stable matching? Yeah, nobody wants to change, right? There's no man and no woman who like a pair with each other and be happier than where they are. Okay? If that's the case, then you're not stable. So, then we started talking about how to find stable matchings, which is kind of complicated. And it turns out there's so to find all stable matchings, you have to check all matchings. Can be a lot of them, and for each matching you just check the definition. You see if you need a couple more. Okay. But it's very time consuming. So then we started talking about that algorithm. Is there a simpler way to find some, if not all, stable matches? So although the stable matches don't exist. So what we did is this algorithm that you talked about. The woman asked or the man asked. So we started talking about this in last time. The way it works is this algorithm works, and this is actually the algorithm. Like if you do a matching, like if you go to medical school and you finish and you want to become an intern, the medical interns will have preferences of the hospitals have preferences of the interns, and they actually use this algorithm. So this is actually in use. Okay. So each woman asks her favorite man. Okay. If each man gets one invitation, then the algorithm ends. If a man gets more than one invitation, he accepts the woman who he likes best. That is, so if a man gets more than one invitation, then the man has to reject somebody, right? The women who are rejected then ask a second favorite, third favorite, so they sort of go down the line. And then it kind of keeps on going round and round like this. It ends when each man gets exactly one invitation. Okay, so beginning of last class, it turns out there was only match stable. Let's talk about this. So this is what we did at the end of last class. So we have 3 women and 3 men. So I guess woman A likes man Y best, man X second best, and man Z worst. So these are the rankings. Is it clear what this means, right? By the way. So again, this means that man Z likes woman A best, woman C second best, and woman B best. Okay, so if we do the woman ask algorithm, those are on the board this time. So we start with the women, and we pair them up with their first choice. So A asks Y, B asks X, and C asks X, right? So is there a man with more than one invitation? X, right? So who does X choose? And so X gets invitation from both B and C. X likes B better, yeah? Okay, so therefore C gets rejected, right? So therefore C then moves to what? Z, right? Okay. Now does every man get one invitation? Yes. Okay, so the resulting thing is stable. So it's a stable. Do you want to check if it's stable? By doing our thing. So is woman A happy? Yes, right. Woman A has her first choice. Is man Y happy? No. Man Y would like to call B, right? But does B say yes to Y? No, because right, B is with X. Okay, so man Y is unhappy, but can't do anything about it. What about woman B? Is woman B happy? Yes. Because woman B has her first choice. Man X? No, because man X would rather have A, right? X calls A, does A say yes to X? No, because A is with Y. Okay, how about C? Is C happy? No, C would rather call who? X? Right? But does X like C? No, so that C doesn't work. How about Z? Is Z happy? No, Z would want to call who? A? But does A accept Z's call? No, A says, by the way, you're the person I like the least. You're actually the least person. Okay. This is stable. Okay. Let's do the man ask algorithm. if we do the men ask, then man X does A, right? Y does B, and then Z does A. Does a woman get more than one invitation? A, right? So who gets rejected? Who does A choose? A chooses between X and Z and chooses X, so man Z gets rejected. Then man Z goes to what? C, right? Okay, does every woman get one invitation? Yes, right? So it's a statement. Okay, that's how it works. We did this at the end of last class. So I can just do the slides all over again. So the woman ask algorithm has A, Y, B, X, C, Z. Right? That's stable because every man gets exactly one invitation. If we do the men ask, I think we get X, A, Y, B, Z, C. Yeah? Yes.
There be more than two stable relationships.
Stable relationships. Yeah, sure. They could be a fun.
So the men and the women ask don't have to end in the same.
No, they don't. Right. They could.
They could.
Yeah, but in this case they don't. Yeah. And in fact, so we'll do all those examples. Okay. In this case, there's a stable match for the women and a stable match for the men. Oh, that's a good question. Are there other stable matches, do you think? There's 6 possible matches, right? Are there other stable matches? What do you think? Might be? Let's just answer that question. Okay, so notice that C is matched with Z, and Z is matched with C in both these things, right? So, how would I know this? I'm trying to think.
Could we do the woman ask and man ask algorithm backwards, where Z gets first?
Oh, no, that's, I mean, when we did this, right? In this case, all the men got to ask first. Right? So we'll leave this question. We can answer this question in a second, but that's a good question. Whether it's
How do you find out if there's just 6 possible combinations?
Oh, how do we know this?
Yeah.
Just because there's 3 in each side, right? That's it. That 3 factorial thing, right? Woman A can be matched with X, Y, or Z, right? And then once you match A with 1, then B has to be matched with 2, and then C matched. So there's 6 possible. No? You can also write them all. Huh?
How does the factorial work?
Okay. Where's my okay, if I'm looking for all possible matches, I have to match A with X, Y, or Z, right? So those 3 possibilities. Once that happens, once A is matched up, then B has to be matched up with 2 possibilities, right? Because 1 is already matched with A. And then finally C has only 1. So that's why it's 3 times 2 times 1. Do I get to make my joke again? For example, if there's 6 men and women each side, how many possible matches are there?
6.
6!
Oh,
6. All right. That's what passes for humor in my class. All right. Okay, so these are the 2 stable matches. How about this one? It's another example. There's 3 women and so here everyone likes Z, and the next everyone likes Y, the next everyone likes X. And then explain. A, B, C. B, C. Okay, let's do a woman ask. So if woman asks, then what? We have what? Yeah, everyone asks Z, right? So then, does the algorithm end? No, right? Z chooses who among all these people? A, Z chooses the person he likes the best. And so B and C get rejected. Then what does B do? He goes down to Y. And then C also goes down to Y. Okay, does anyone get rejected? C does, right? Because Y gets 2 invitations, and Y likes B better than C. So C gets rejected. And then C goes down to where? X, right? Does every man get one invitation? Yes, so this is good. Okay, how about men ask? So it's XA, right? YB, ZA. Okay, who gets rejected? I guess two, so A gets two invitations, X gets rejected because A likes X better than, sorry. Yeah, X gets, A likes Z better than X, yes. Okay, so X gets rejected. Then X moves down to who? I think, to B, right? Okay, then who gets rejected now? So now B has two invitations, right? So B chooses Y, right? So X gets rejected again. X moves down to C, right? Okay. Now does every woman have the same, have one invitation? Yeah. So this is okay, this is interesting. Now the woman ask and the men ask is the same. Okay. So it turns out that we'll be able to conclude that if the woman asks and the men ask is the same, then that means that there's only one stable match. This sort of makes sense, right? There's only one stable matching because why? In every match, right? A and Z will be together, right? In any stable match because they're each other's first choices. If given that A and Z will be together, then B and Y will be together, and therefore C and X will be together. In this case, there's only one stable match. So this is the same thing. From the woman ask, we get A, Z, B, Y, C, X. Stable. From the men ask, we get, I think, X, C, Y, B, T, A. Does it make sense? These are the same. These are the same, right? Is it clear why? Yeah. Right. Here's A, Z, Z, A. Right. Very well. No. Let's do another. Oh. So in this case, yeah, it's the only stable match. How about this one? Maybe we'll use chalk for this guy. This is like multimedia. See, thank you. Okay, let's do women ask. Okay, if the women ask, it's what? AY, BX, CY, right? Okay, who gets rejected? So A and C both ask Y, and Y wants A, right? So C gets rejected, yes? C moves down to what? X. Who gets rejected? B does, right? Okay, so X likes C better than B. So B moves down to where? Y. Okay, who gets rejected now? A, right? Because Y likes B better than A, exactly. A now moves down to X, right? B, Y. Who gets rejected now? X has invitations from A and C. A, right? A gets rejected. It's kind of interesting. A wasn't rejected in the beginning, right? But now A is rejected because in the beginning Y liked A, but now that once Y got the offer from B, then Y says, okay, I'm done with A. See what I'm saying? Yeah? Okay. A now goes down to what? Z. Is this stable? Yes. Okay. How about men ask? Okay, it's going to be what? XC, YB, ZA. Okay? Is that stable? Yeah, here you don't have to do any iteration, just right from the very beginning. Okay. Are these the same? Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, this is another one where the two things are the same. So this is just the same thing again. We had AZ BYCX. If we do the men ask, we'll just get that. Okay. I think this is our last example. We have YZX, XYZ, ZXY, ACB, CBA, AC. Okay, let's see. Should we do woman ask? Okay, so if it's woman ask what? It's going to be AY, BX, CZ. Is that stable? Yeah. How about the men ask? XA, right? YC, ZD. Okay, is that stable? Yeah. No one's rejected, everyone gets exactly one. Okay, let's think about these. They're two stable matching. If you're a woman, which one would you prefer? This one or this one? The top one, right? If you're a woman, all the women here get their first choices, right? It's like perfect, there's no competition among women, right? How do the men like this match, however? Not as much. In fact, it's like every single man here gets matched with the woman they like the least. Look, Y gets matched with A, X gets matched with B, and Z gets matched with C. Make sense? Right, so this is best for the women and worst for all women. It literally cannot be worse for the men. Okay, how about this one? Do the women like this? So woman A is with X, woman C is with Y, woman B is with Z. Do the women like this? No, again, this is like the absolute worst, literally the absolute worst for women. Right? Every single woman gets matched with their worst choice. How about the men? Do the men like this? Yeah, in fact, this is the absolute best for the men. Man X gets A, all the men get their first choice. Man Y gets C, man Z gets B. So you're asking, like, why is it stable if all the women are unhappy? The woman, anyone would prefer anything else other than this. Well, why is it stable? Yeah, because the men don't want to change, right? To change, the woman would have to find a man to change it, right? And none of the men want to change. Similarly here, the men are unhappy, but why do they not change? Yeah, because of women. Okay, so this is a question. So here, these are two different stable matches. Is there another stable match? Yes, what would that be? Yeah, maybe like the second best. Let's check that out. So how about everyone's matched with the second best? So that would be like AZ, right? BY, CX. So here, woman A is matched with her second best, BY, C. So all the women have the second best, and I think all the men have the second best too. Huh? Yeah, this is kind of a compromise. Is this stable? Woman A is with C and likes to want to call who? Y, right? But does Y say yes to A? No, right? Because Y likes B better. Man Z is with A. Man Z wants to call who? B, right? But does woman B say yes to Z? No, right? So it's it makes sense, right? Because no call will ever be accepted because the person you like better than your second choice hates you. Right? Does that make sense? Okay, so this is also stable. So in this case, there are three possible stable matches. So here over here there were two, I think, right? Here there's one. Here there's one, I think. Here's the double. Okay, there's two, one. Here there's three. Okay, makes sense. All right. So in this case, another stable matching. So there's one stable matching in which all the women get their first choice. Another one in which all the men get their first choice. Another one in which everyone gets their second choice. Okay. So this is the big question in which we'll do this question, then we'll do some homework problems or we'll do some problems on final about matching. Yeah, after this, we'll do that. Okay. Does dating favor the asked or the askers? Huh? The askers. Okay. So, but this is an interesting question, right? Because in some sense, what does this even mean? Because presumably all the asking people are in competition, right? Like, isn't it? I thought that all the women are competing against for the men, right? Which is true, right? All the men are competing for the women. So aren't women in competition with each other, right? Aren't men in competition with each other? So what does it even mean to say? It's not like all women have the same preferences or men have the same preferences, right? Seems like. Yeah. So it turns out that dating favors the askers. Okay, so what does this question mean? Aren't men competing against each other and the women competing against each other? Okay, so it turns out, look, let's just check it out. Okay. Let's do this example. If you're a woman, which one do you prefer, the woman ask or the men ask? So if you're woman A, you prefer Y, right, over this where you get Y is better than X. Okay. If you're a woman B, you like this match better than this, right, because X is better than Y. If you're a woman C, you don't care, right, because you're different. Yes? Okay, how about men? If you're man X, which do you prefer, the men ask or the women ask? Men ask, right? So here you get X gets the first choice over here. A, so woman X likes A over B, right? So man here gets man X is matched with A, which is better than matched with B. How about man Y? Does man Y prefer this or this? The man asks the man Y prefers the man ask. Y prefers B over A, and man Z's are different. How about here? Which do the women and men can prefer of these matches? Well, here's the same, so there's no issue. And here, which do the men and women ask? Which one? They're the same, right? So there's no issue. Yeah.
The first one on the chalkboard, we say that woman ask is stable at AZBYCX.
Right.
But when you look at it, couldn't B and C switch?
Here?
Considering that B prefers X and C prefers Y.
Let's see.
Like I get that it's stable, but could you
Let's
take
just
it
check.
one step further and switch it to AZBXCY? Just because so B and C both get the first choice.
Okay, yeah, so let's see. In this case, B is with Y, and C is with X, right? So they both are in their second choices.
Yeah.
Why can't we make them both happier? So that would be this case, right?
Yeah.
So let's check, is this stable? Well, let's check. Is A happy? Hold on, A is unhappy, right? A would want to call who?
Y.
Y. Does Y say yes to A?
No. Y's happy.
Yeah. Right? Y likes A better than C,
Oh.
right? So you're making B and C happier than here, right? But the point is, and this is not stable because now A can kind of swoop in, right? Does that make sense? So B and C are both happy, but the reason is because the men, in particular, I think Y becomes unhappy, right? Yeah, right. So now, in this case, Y is not vulnerable to A in the situation, right? But now it's C. Yeah. That's not stable. Okay, so this is just what I'm saying. This is our example over here. Okay. AYBXCZ is from the men ask. Sorry, for the woman ask. AXBYCZ is from the men ask. Note that all women like this one better than they all like the woman ask algorithm better than the men ask. All, not just a few of them, all. Either they all like it or they're indifferent. For example, women season.
So the woman will always prefer woman ask and the men will always prefer men.
And note that all men, what's interesting about it is not just true for some of them, it's true for literally all of them. That's interesting. All men like the men ask one better than the woman ask. In this case, this is the one I have up in here. There's only one stable matching. The women ask and men ask, algorithms get the same thing. I think this is the, which one is this one? I think it's this, right? Y and C. In this case, there are three stable matchings. If you're a woman, ask which one would you prefer of all these things? So if you're a woman, which would you prefer? If you're a woman ask, right? All the women like this one best. How about if you're a man? All the men like the men ask. Oh, this is interesting. If you're a man, which of these stable matchings is the worst for you? the woman ask, if you're a woman, which one of these is the worst for you? And then- So all women like the woman ask one better than all other stable matchings. All men like the men ask better than all the stable matchings. Okay, so it turns out we have this result. So the matching, this is true if you have 100 people on both sides. It's just a general result. This is a result proved by Gale and Shepard. The matching from the woman ask algorithm is the best possible stable matching for all the women. All women like this matching better than, or at least as much as all of the stable matching. So if you do the woman ask algorithm, I mean, let's say surely all these women are competing against each other, which is true. However, among the set of stable matchings, every single woman likes that woman ask one the best. Okay? Not only that, the woman ask algorithm is the worst possible stable matching for all the men. Literally every single man thinks the woman ask algorithm is the worst of all possible stable matchings. Okay? So literally, if you use the woman ask algorithm, you find the best for all the women, and it's the worst for all the men, not just some of them. So in other words, if you use the woman ask algorithm, every single man is against it, even the ones which are not desirable. See what I'm saying? Okay, so does that make sense? It's a very strong result. So what's interesting is you think of this as, in other words, dating favors the askers. Okay, not just some of them, but all of them, literally all of them. All of them, all the women like the women ask, all the men like the men ask. Okay? And why is that? Because basically, when you do the woman ask algorithm, okay, for example, say here, like if the men ask algorithm is like this, do the women's preferences ever come into play? No, right? In the men ask algorithm, the women's preferences only come into play if there's like a tie. Like if a woman gets 2 invitations, only then does the woman get to choose. You see what I'm saying? Similarly, in the woman ask algorithm, the men's preferences only make a difference if a man gets invitation from 2 or more people. Okay? So it sort of makes sense, right? If the men ask algorithm doesn't really work, doesn't really care too much about women's preferences, then it'll be the best for them. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, a little life advice, I guess. So dating favors the askers, every single one of them. The ask gets the worst possible stable match. Every single one agree that their match is the worst possible stable. So guess the thing about the match between the hospitals and the interns. Guess what algorithm they use? Do you think they use the intern ask algorithm, or the hospital ask algorithm? They use the hospital ask algorithm. They totally do that. Okay? So the hospitals really get the very best one for all. Does this make sense? Yeah.
Is it possible to model it as like extensive formulating, like some, like a portion of the women are askers and a portion of the
Oh, that's a good question. I think if you did that, then you might have a cyclical kind of thing. That's a good question. It would be interesting to see, like if I have so like half the women ask, half the men ask, half the women. That'd be kind of interesting. Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's a good point. Any questions about that? Okay, so yeah.
How could you account for maybe like people would rather not be matched at all than be matched with their worst preference?
Oh, okay. So yeah, in this case, we're assuming everyone would want to be matched. Yeah. So sometimes what you do is you'd have like a no match or something. So for example, say N means no match at all. You can put that in there. But the reason that's a little complicated is then if you think of the no match as like another person, then this person doesn't have preferences. So it is not quite the same one. Yeah. So here we are some assumptions. We're assuming that everyone wants to be matched with somebody versus not at all. And also there's no ties, for example, everyone has this. So again, there's lots of other kinds of matching. There are like matching of people to rooms where the rooms don't have preferences, like one-sided matching. There's lots of different kinds. Any questions? Yeah.
If every single person gets a pair match,
Right.
does the match become automatically stable?
Yeah, it's like this one.
So if everyone gets an invitation, it's stable.
Yeah. For example, when men ask here, all the men ask, and then every single woman gets exactly one, and then that's it. So what's interesting is like, once I see this, it literally does not matter what the women's preferences are. This would still be stable. So it sort of makes sense, right? If there's a match where every man's getting their first choice, that will be stable regardless of what women want, because no man will ever change. Yeah? Certainly. Makes sense? Okay. Any other questions? Okay. That's it. That's the end of my lecture. End of the whole lecture, the whole thing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Trying to think how often that's happened in the last 20 years. I don't know. Once I. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to milk this as much as I can. You're very kind. Thank you. I can still laugh about it. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Let's look at some past homework. Thank you. Let's see. Let's do this one. This is kind of fun. So we'll do a matching problem from the final. This is a good one. Once I was walking down like in campus and one of my colleagues and a student walked up to me and said, "You know, your class is really a great class. It's changed my life, and it's the best thing I've ever, And I told my colleague, "I'm trying to think how often that's happened to me," and the answer is 0. Oh, that's okay. He's a very good teacher. I'm still milking it. Okay, anyway. This is from the finals. Let's just do this problem. It's a magic problem. We can do anything if you want. I think we have time. We have 1:40. All right, so we have this, find the stable matrix. This is very straightforward. Want to just do this? Oh, where's my phone? Okay. Okay, so man A, B, and C. And then they have preferences over women. Thank you. W likes. And then we have women. Okay, so the first one is find stable matching that men prefer the most. How do I do that? Men-ask algorithm. So the men-ask looks like this. But W asks who? A. X asks B. Y asks C. Are we done?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are done. I think this is it. Every man asks their first choice, and then we're done. Okay. Oh, I forgot who's. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. These are the women over here. Sorry. That's the women ask. How about the men ask? The man ask is over here, right? Thank you. And it's going to be what? AW, EY, CW. Who gets rejected? I guess C gets rejected, right? Woman W chooses between A and C, is like C worst. C goes down to Y. Who gets rejected? B, right? Because Y chooses between C and B. Y likes B worst. B moves down to X. Okay, is this stable? Okay. Do there exist unstable matchings? Do I have to check all the other ones? So I found the one which the women prefer the most and the one which men prefer most. Well, they're the same, right? So remember, there's only one stable matching because we said that this is the one the women like the most and the men like the least, right? This is the one the men like the most and women like the least. So if the one the women like the most is the same as the one the women like the least, that must mean there's only one. Does that make sense? Yeah? So if this is the one the men like the least, this is the one that the men like the best, but they're the same. So therefore there's only one. Does that make sense? We don't have to check all the other things. If the women ask and the men ask if the same thing, there's only one civil match. Is that clear?
No.
Just a question for the final. Would we have to like show like our thought process going, like writing it down on the paper, or would we be able to just put like the final answer?
This is sufficient.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like for the men ask one, would we be able to just put like the last row like we did in our head?
It would be better to do this.
Okay.
I mean, you obviously don't want to be crazy, like you don't like write everything out, but it's always better to write more just because we know that if you make a mistake, then you can tell where the mistake is earlier or later. So if you make a mistake and you see, oh, but the more you show, we can see whether it's an obvious mistake, you know the same. So there's more protection sometimes. But obviously you don't want to spend much. Yeah.
If the women's ask algorithm match and the men's ask algorithm match are different, so we should still check for.
Right, exactly. Right. If they're different, then there might be something in between. Yeah. Now, something over here, there was a question. Okay, so yeah. Our conclusion was, this is the one the women asked. Yes, go ahead.
So if there's like four people being, we still have to check all the possible.
Yeah, so there was a question like that. So there will always be tricks. There won't be anything which is ridiculously computational on the final. Like I guess if there's 4 people, there'll be like 24 possible matches or something. So I'm not going to ask you to do 24 things. There'll be some trick. So a lot of it will be looking for the trick. Yeah. Yeah.
So like the thought process on like the minute ask is that like because CW is being out by because C being out by A at W, you have to go to C the next best function.
Right. C starts with W. C is rejected, then C moves down.
So it's like C battles A, then C battles B, then C is just
Yeah, right. So,
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So for the previous example where the women prefer the one that the men like the least, and
Right.
the men prefer the one where the women like the least.
That one over there.
Yeah, can we automatically assume that they're second?
Oh, good question.
Really
No.
second to the-
It need not be.
It may not be.
Yeah. In this case, it just happened to work out. Right. Yeah. Okay, but anyway, going back, just to be clear, this is the woman ask and the man ask. If they're the same, why can I conclude that there's only one stable match? Good. Because this is the one, we have that result, which I put on the board to prove it, but the woman ask algorithm is the matchup for all stable matches which women like the most. All women like the woman ask algorithm better than any other possible stable match. Okay. They like the one which the men ask algorithm gives the least. So if the one the women like the most and the women like the least is the same thing, then there's going to be only one. That's is it clear? Okay. Okay, say a fourth woman. Oh, this is a fourth thing. The fourth woman shows up. Okay. A like Z best. Okay, we have to figure this out. Okay. Woman A like C best of all. Men's preference is okay. Oh, should I? Maybe I'll put him in there. Woman A like C best of all, so it's going to be like. Hold on, did I get? Oh, man A like C best of all. Sorry. So man A is like this, right? And then B and C dislike C and like her least. Okay. Does that make sense? What I'm doing? I'm throwing Z days in there. Women's preferences are WX and Y remain the same. Okay. Woman Z feels bad. Okay. But the circling situation just drags along with classmate D. The only problem is that man D is every woman's last choice. Or D, exactly. Okay. In addition, D does not like Z at all. Okay. D likes W best. X second best, Y third best, and Z last. Z likes B best, A second best, C third best, and D last. Okay. All right. Find the stable matching that men prefer the most. Okay. Yeah, for D. Okay. So we start with the men. We do what? AZ, right? BY, CW, DW. Who gets rejected? So W gets an offer from C and D. W likes C better. D gets rejected. D moves down to what? X. Is that stable? Yes. Everyone gets one. Okay. Find the stable matching that women prefer the most. Okay, so now it's going to be what? WA, XB, YC, ZB. Who gets rejected? See, B gets 2 invitations, and B likes X better, right? So Z gets rejected. WA, XB, YC. Z moves down now to what? A. Okay, who gets rejected now? W, right? Because A likes C best. So W moves down to what? W minus W, sorry, B, yeah, thank you. Now who gets rejected? I think B gets offered from W and X, so W gets rejected, right? So now W goes down to C. Okay. Who gets rejected? I think Y? Right. Okay. Hold on.
And C gets W and Y.
Oh yeah, right. C gets W. Okay, thank you. Yeah, C likes C. Thank you. So Y gets rejected. Y goes down to. It's kind of long, right? Y goes down to B. Z. Who gets rejected now? X gets rejected, right? Because B likes X, Y better than X gets rejected. WC. Now X moves down to A. Now who gets rejected? A gets an offer from X and Z. X gets rejected, right? So WC, X goes now to where? C, right? X is at A and moves down to C. Okay, who gets rejected? X, yeah, because C likes W best. Yeah, X. X ends up with D. So this is D. Does it make sense? Is it the same thing?
No.
Yeah, it is. No, it is the same, right? This is the same thing. Yeah? A's with Z, A's with Y, C's with W, D's with X. It is the same. So, okay, all right, fine. Which person among the original people lose the most when Z and D show up? So I forgot, what was the original, you guys wrote down? Okay, so the original thing was 3 women and 3 men, right? What was the match originally? AWBXCY? And that was the only match, right? That was the early case. Right? Okay, this is before Was it W? Was it Z and D, right? Okay. All right. So what happens before Z and D showed up? Okay. Oh, everyone changed. There's a lot of change, right? Okay. Which person lose the most? Okay, so W was originally with A, right? And now W has to go down to C. Right? Why did that happen? Okay, so W was originally mapped as A, which is great. So W totally loses when Z and D show up. Why is that? Yeah, because A really likes C. Right? Yeah. So I think W loses a fair amount. I'm sorry, no, hold on. Yeah, from A to C. So this is like a big decline. Okay, how about X? X goes from B to D. Oh, X uses a ton.
Would you do better to do it numerically?
Huh?
Would it better to do it numerically rather than just slopes?
Oh, I see. Like it's like two spaces or something. Something like that. Okay. Well, X really suffers. Why is that? X literally had her first choice, and now X is ended with D. What the heck happened?
Can we just write up this?
Huh?
X is the one that loses the most because in all stable matches, X is paired with the one that loses.
In the last yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, in some sense, you can't lose more. X cannot lose most. Like you couldn't lose more than X. X literally goes from the best to the worst. So let's just think about why is that? Why did that happen? Okay, before X is with B, why does X move all the way down to D? This is a situation you might be in at some point. Someone shows up and then boom. Okay, let's think about it. X is with B. What happened to B? Okay, B was with X, and now B moves to what? Y. Well, why did B get to go up to Y?
Because B preferred Y over X.
Yeah. So B prefers Y over X, exactly, right? So, okay, X was at B. I'm getting all confused now. Okay, X was with B. X is no longer with B because B was with Y. And B prefers Y over X, right? But why wasn't B with Y in the beginning?
Because C prefers W.
Yeah, because I think in the beginning. Okay. Why is that? I'm just confused. Well, let's just compute the problem first. Let's do the. How about Y? Okay. Does Y lose? Y is originally with C, and Y ends up with B, right? So loses one space. How about Z? Oh, Z. Yeah.
No, Z ain't the lose.
Oh, Z wasn't. Yeah, Z was not there. Okay, how about A, B, and C? Okay, A goes from W to Z, right? So A totally wins. Okay, how about B? B was with X, now B is with Y, so B goes up. How about C? C was with Y, now is with W. Okay, so when A and D show up, all the women get better off, but all the men get worse. And in particular, X go really good. Oh, I'm getting confused, I'm sorry, yeah. A, B, and C are the men, yeah. W and D show up, all the men get better, all the women get worse. In fact, woman X totally declines. Let's just talk about a little bit why that happens. Okay, so, well, let's think about it. Why does Y decline? I think that's the easiest one, right? Y declines from
C goes to W.
C to B, right? And that's because C goes to W, right? Make sense? Why does C go to W though? Okay, hold on. When Z and D show up, what's the first thing which happens?
Z still.
Yeah, okay, I think this is what happens is the following. Z shows up, and I think basically A goes for Z. That's kind of what happens, right? Okay, so A goes for Z. Once that happens, now I think, what happens now to the, okay, A goes for Z. Now, before A is with W, so now W is free, right? So now, if W is free, who gets W? C, right? Okay, I think I understand what happens. Z shows up. A was with W before, but now Z shows up. A says, "Oh my God, you're my first choice." A goes with Z. Okay, now W is now released. Okay, now okay, so now C gets W. Okay, and W can C gets W. And now, after that, I think, what? Before C is with Y, now Y gets B. Yeah? And now, is this complicated? Am I explaining it right? And now, since Y gets B, X can't get B, A, or C gets D. I think that's right. All the women shift, and then, all the men shift, and woman, X goes from B over to D. I think that's right. Is that good? Maybe there's a better way to explain it. Anyway, at least we answer the question. The person who loses the most is X. Okay. Oh, this is fun. Okay. So we have the situation. I think this is just what we have over here. You now say that the Twilight Moonbeam's love potion is available to completely reverse a person's preferences. Okay, so if Twilight Moonbeam is given to woman Y, she flips from CBAD to DABC. So woman W goes to Weasley's Wizard Wheezes to buy Twilight Moonbeams. Her objective is, of course, to be matched with the most preferred man A. She can give Twilight Moonbeams to any person by herself. Of course, the potion is expensive. She prefers buying as few doses as possible. By giving Twilight Moonbeams to one or more people, can woman W ensure that she will be matched by with man A? Okay. So these are the things. Okay. Can woman ensure that she'll be matched with man A? So without any love potions, who is W matched with? I think that's this, right? C. Yeah, what did we do before? Okay, so let's think. Should we give it to C? Okay, so remember, we're trying to make W happy, right? W wants to be matched with A. Right? Okay.
And C would prefer Z as well.
C would prefer Z.
And you want that with A.
Hold on a second. Okay. I'm woman W. We can just do trial and error. Okay, let's do it over here. Was it CWX?
YX, WYX, WX. ABCD, BACD,
EA.
CBAD, BACD.
Okay, so we're trying to make who happy? Woman W, right? Okay, as it is, woman W is matched with C, right? Okay. So we want to see if we can make woman W match with A. How do we make that happen? And we can, by the potion, we can reverse those processes. Okay. Should we give the potion to C? Let's just see what happens, okay? So if we give the potion to C, then this becomes Z Z, X, Y, W. Okay. All right, is that going to work? Can we just try it? Okay. So if that's the case, let's do the woman asked tape. So in that case, I have W, A, right? X, B, Y, C, Z, B.
Z still chooses.
Okay. And so in this case, who gets rejected? I think Z gets rejected, right? Because B gets rejected. Z goes down to A. Now between A,
So it's not gonna work.
W gets rejected. W goes down to B. It's not going to work, was it?
Because C's with A, but we want that. A.
Oh yeah, exactly. Right. Once Z matches with A, Z is never going to
Never gonna change.
never going to change, right? Exactly. So exactly. So this is not going to work. Does that make sense? Once Z gets up to A, the only thing that
But we need.
so the only thing we'll take off Z from A would be B, but B is already.
Unless we have enough function to put it to the B.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We're going to keep on trying. Let's see. B in this case, who gets just rejected? W B. B likes. W gets rejected, right? W goes to A. Oh, it didn't work. Now who gets rejected? A. W gets rejected.
I mean, that was the idea. Let's say rejected because A is C. We want
Oh, I
to
see.
do that.
Well, this is. Oh. Who gets rejected now? Okay. W gets rejected. Right. W. W goes down. No, we're supposed to be helping W, but W is getting worse and worse.
Yes, that's the same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so let's think. Any questions?
Oh, that was.
Okay, let's think about this. Okay, if you're W, you want A. Who is your competitor for A?
He's the only person above you for A.
Okay, well, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so to make, okay, yeah, exactly. If you want A to like you the best. The only person who A likes better than you is what? Z. So maybe I should switch around Z, right? Did you say? Okay, if I switch around Z, this becomes okay, if Z is like that, now in this situation, what's going to happen? Okay, so okay, in this case, if I do, these are the women, right? Women ask, it'll be WA, XB, YC, ZB. Yeah? Is that stable? Yeah, that works. So how did it work? I switched Z and I did
Or my bad.
women ask, huh? These are the women. So did that work? I think it worked. Yeah? I'm switching Z.
Or I mean for the men, I'm switching C or D.
I'm not switching anybody to men.
What did you switch last time?
Huh?
What did you switch last time?
I switched C last time. Okay, but now, instead of switching man C, I'm switching woman C. Yeah.
Are there like multiple ways to do this? Because if you switch B, it wouldn't work too.
I think that, yeah, let's think about that. So I think this will work. This will get this to be a match. Okay. Does it make sense? Now, this thing again, how does this work? I got this to work because I can make it so that every woman gets their first choice, and therefore A is kind of stuck with Z under this thing. Make sense? Okay, so what were you saying?
If you switch B, would that work too?
Let's go. So this would be Z, W, X. Okay, let's think about that. And we'll make it straight. Okay, will this work to make woman W happy? Huh?
Because me prefers Z and Z prefers
Yeah, this is actually works great. Okay, why? Okay, so you're a woman W. You want to make A like you, right? The main competitive competition you have is who?
Z.
Z, right? So you've got to make Z match with somebody else. That's the main thing you've got to do. You've got to get Z off the market so you can clear the way is clear for you and A. Yeah? So how do I make Z match with somebody? Sorry, how do I make Z match with somebody else?
You just switch around B.
Yeah, I make man B love Z. That makes sense? If I make man B love Z the most, then Z will surely pair up with B because Z and B love each other the most, right? Once I switch this happen, then Z and B will definitely pair up because they're each other's first choices. That leaves now A free for me. Make sense? So I think this is probably this is definitely works. Make sense?
The two of them work.
Yeah. Okay, so this is kind of cool, right? If you're a woman W, in this case, you want to make your competitor happy. Right? You're making your competitor happy by making the man she likes the best love her. Make sense? Okay, that's kind of cool. All right. Yeah.
The question says that can you ensure that she will be matching with
Right.
illness, or whether she is asked or she was asked, whatever the situation is, the W should be matching with A.
Right. So in the first, okay, you're right in the sense that when I switch B, then I think it's true that in any stable match, W will match with A. Okay. The first answer it was just with one stable match. So this is a little bit of a stronger answer. Okay. So what I did before, I at least made it feasible. Okay, but this means that the only stable match. Because once I say B and Z like each other, then they clearly in any stable match they will match together. Therefore, A is never going to match with Z, and therefore A will match with O. Okay, how about this? Okay, so now the woman Y wants to use the love potion. Woman Y's objective is to be matched with the most preferred C. She can give clout and news to any person. Can woman Y ensure that she'll be matched with man C? It's going to be a little like this. Here's why. You're a woman Y. You want to be with C. How do you make sure that happens? In the originally, C is matched with who? W, right? So what do you have to change? C really likes W, right?
Would it have worked if we had just done the same thing?
Yeah.
Let's
With B
see.
again, because then W is occupied with A. Then it's just, what?
Okay, we're just going to switch who now? B?
Again, same.
Okay, let's see. B, W, X, Y. So now what?
So now W is with A, Z is with B.
Okay, yeah, so Z is definitely going to be with B, right? Because they're each first choices.
Then
Therefore, A will be matched with W. Right? And therefore,
So now C goes down to Y, or Y to C. W is occupied.
Oh.
That makes C match with Y.
yeah, that works, sure. That makes sense. Did you get that? Okay, I think that works. There might be more than an answer. We switched B over, right? And now, since B and Z like each other the most, that must happen in any single match. Therefore, Z is off the table for A, and W likes A the most, and W is the first person, the best person they can get. That will definitely happen. And given that, the only issue is who C and D get matched up with, right? So we have
C's first choice gets taken away, so it's next choice Y.
Oh yeah, that's right, exactly, yeah. So this will make, yeah. That's right, so after one W gets matched with A, C gets matched with one.
And then B's first choice is gone, so B gets its next choice, and
Yeah,
then C's
yeah,
first choice is B.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, yeah.
Isn't it like so much easier like in the first one where you just switch X or Z in the woman's because Y is already C's for each other?
Okay, let's remind you on that answer. So, okay, so. Okay, so what do you want to do?
Well, isn't it like, do you have to switch something from the men's side?
Sorry?
Do you have to switch something from the men's side?
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, because can't you just switch either X or Z, like for the quotient or one of those two, since Y, C's already Y's first choice, and she wants to compare it with C?
Okay, so okay. You want to help Y, right?
Yeah.
So you want to switch over
Like B.
B?
Yes, then it would all be stable.
I'm getting confused now. What's B? You want to switch B?
No, I want to switch Z.
Z.
Yeah, because then the B wouldn't be the first choice, right? And then it would be stable, and Y is C's first choice.
Okay, let's think about this. Okay, so if this is the case. Oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. That was kind of, I see, that's the simplest way of doing it, right? In this case, so if there's a woman asking, it'll just go be WA, XB, YC. That's also another. Huh? Yeah, oh yeah, exactly. That's what you're saying, right? Yeah, that would, exactly, that would make it possible, for sure. But I guess the stronger answer would be, how do I switch it so that with any stable match, woman Y gets C. So this switch would definitely make it so a stable match exists in which Y gets C. Yeah? But we haven't proved yet that that's the only one. So I guess this would be definitely at least reasonable.
We need to support it. Can we just have one right answer and we have to point?
Yeah, sure. I think that'd be good. Let's see. Any other questions about that? Strictly speaking, this one, unless you had to prove that I've never done it yet, but you have to prove that this is the only stable match in the situation. Because that's what it is asking. Can I make it so that in any stable match, Y gets squeezed? So it did. I guess it's sure, yeah. That's what it depends on. Okay, you'll see you next time. Yeah. What? There might be another answer than that. Oh, I was thinking about doing this. If I switch doubles.
Hello. For that one example, where like we had like each person's like least favorite was like the table. There was another table, wasn't there?
Right.
How did we find the other table?
Oh, we just guessed for it.
Or just guess.
Right.
So would you have to go through each pair or each match? I mean,
Right.
to see if like.
Ideally,
there's
yeah,
another
right.
match?
So it's like to find all stable matches, you have to look at every single match and use the definition.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So that's why the algorithm is so much nicer.
Oh, wait, using the algorithm, don't say if
both have the same match, then there's only one.
Exactly.
But if there's multiple matches,
Right.
then would we just use those two different matches, or would we have to find more matches?
Oh, there might be more. Yeah, just like in here. In this case, the woman asked, the man asked. So the woman, one the woman asks is the best with the woman. One of the men is the best with the man. I'll make sure.
Okay, I see. And because of that, then we would have to kind of go away from the algorithm and then check.
Hey,
When you're an officer, is that exactly 2?
I'll be there for 2. That's right. I'll be there between 2 and 3.
Okay.
So you
Where
can
are
come
they?
Come on, I'll just be 276.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm also around tomorrow morning.
I'll just stop by.
So, all right.
Mr. Chair, I have a question. So, this is my homework.
Oh, yeah.
So, I want to check the natural equilibrium they found is like this.
Mhm.
Both of these steps keeps reversing.
Right. So that's not a Nash equilibrium.
Oh.
It's only Nash equilibrium if once you throw it up there, it doesn't move.
Oh. So, I see.
Yeah.
But isn't there any special cooling when we found? Actually, yeah, there's a kind of pattern,
Mm-hmm.
but not an exact answer. So,
Right.
isn't there any special cooling for it?
No, there's no special name. You could go like a cycle or something like that. Yeah. Like when we did the fashion cycle, it did that, right? There's no Nash equilibrium connected to anything.
Thank you.
Sure.
I just have a quick question. So, I felt pretty confident going into midterm as far as like conceptually.
Right.
Like I thought I had most of the concepts down, but I kind of ran out of time.
Sure.
Got confused, didn't do as good as I wanted to. What do you think the best way to prepare for the final?
I would just do the old finals.
The old finals?
If you feel like you, did you do okay in the midterm? How did you do?
I didn't do very good
Oh.
in the midterm, so I
Then
need
you
to
might
do well.
Yeah, exactly. You might want to make sure that you understand that stuff. And so, if you did well in the midterm, I would just do the final problems, which are more in the second half of the class. But if you feel like you need to review in that, I'll just do the whole thing.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
literally do a lot of them.
Right, it's just mainly about practice.
Yeah, exactly.
Just so you can get through it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Oh, thank you. You don't have to do that. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I said that. I will. Okay, sure.